we are covering the most important questions that might be asked in the upcoming UPSC PT examination. Today is a Chite Lui River which is situated in Aizwal in the state of Mizoram of India, and this place is significant for civil service aspirants. The type of question that might be asked are: consider the following about Chite Lui River in Aizwal in Mizoram. A. Prevention and Control of Water Pollution Act 2018 have prohibited dumping of animal carcass, biomedical waste in Chite Lui River to save it in Aizwal. B. Chite Lui River originates from Bang Kwang range in Aizwal. C. It is a tropical perennial river and fed on glaciers. D. Talak Lui, Bang Lui, Darang Lui, Theng Hang Lui are the tributaries of Chite Lui. Which of the above statement is or not correct? Second question can be: major cause of dying for Chite Lui River is A. Rapid melting of glacier in the source region. B. Industrial pollution along the river bank. C. Rampant urbanization and pollution by plastic bag. D. Chemical contamination of water due to the agriculture fertilizers uses nearby area. Third can be: what would be the future goals to save and what should be the action to save Chite Lui River? A. Encourage forest waste livelihood. B. Publish book on unwritten folk stories about river for children to create awareness. C. Make small dams on river and its tributaries. D. All of the statements are correct. E. None of the statements are above. 4. Who are the local tribes in Aizwal? 5 question can be: consider the wrong statement about Mizo tribe. A. They resides in Mizoram state of India. B. They are the most primitive in nature. C. Cherao dance is performed by Mizo tribe. D. All are correct. So this can be the questions from these sections. Now starting onward, let's discuss the various aspects of this river. So this is the image of the Chite Lui River which is right now on this page, and it's more like looking like a narrow channel instead of a river. Why it has been in news? It has been in news because the state government has passed the Chite Lui Prevention and Control of Water Pollution Act 2018 this year, and it prohibits the dumping of animal carcasses, biomedical waste and any kind of garbages to protect it. The project to revive Chite Lui came back in action in 2017 after a decade of being at a standstill. This is an image of a Chite Lui River. You can see these people is sitting here and the depth of the river is very low. It's looking more like a nala than a river. This is the geographical location map. This is a map of India, and in India, in the eastern side, this is Mizoram, and this is the enlarged map for Mizoram. This is the enlarged area of Mizoram. In Mizoram, this is the Chite Lui River, and this river Chite Lui, this is the entire drainage area, or you can call it as a catchment or area of Chite Lui River. So you should remember that it is in the state of Mizoram nearby the capital Aizwal. Here is the capital Aizwal. So these locations automatically become important for your prelims examination. This is some facts about the Chite Lui River and Aizwal. The Chite Lui is a river that runs through Aizwal in Mizoram and has high sentimental as well as cultural values attached to it. But the cultural value alone could not save the Chite Lui River. That is why the government has to make some stringent law on it. Situated in alluvial valley at an altitude of 800 to 1000 meter, this river originates from the Bang Kwang range in Aizwal. So this is the source of the river. It is a tropical mountain river and basically it is a rain-fed river. This is not a perennial river, and rain-fed river means that it receives the rain during the monsoon by rainfall, not from the melting of glaciers, and has several small tributaries like Talak Lui, Banglang Lui, Darnam Lui and Thei Hang Lui. So this term Lui term, this means is river in the local Mizo language. So from here you can understand that Chite Lui means the Chite River. In that manner you can remember the name of the tributaries as well if it contains the language Lui with it. Moving next, that what are the primary causes for the Chittellu river that it is dying. So the number one cause is the rampant urbanization. Usually when we talk about anything that it is dying due to climate change, due to the industrial development, due to the chemical waste thrown into the river, but this is a very good example that none of this has added factor to it. It's just the rampant urbanization, unplanned urbanization is the cause. This city, this is the city of Aizwal, and you can see in this image this entire block is crowded. It means the entire hilltop and the hill area is being constructed by buildings. These all are the building and the blocks, and you can see that there are very minimum trees left. So unplanned rampant urbanization has left the river dying. The river flows through Aizwal and has now been reduced to a stream, which growing urbanization. It is a stark example of how unplanned urbanization coupled with illegal encroachment of the catchment area along the banks of the river and ignorance, non-awareness among the people are a dealing and a deadly blow to the river. Followed by this, in this image you can see that along this bridge, this all plastic waste material, all these plastics are being dumped into the river Chittellu, and it is contaminating the river. So the other major reason in this area is the waste thrown in it, and it is an estimated value that 150 tons of the waste is generated every day, mind it, every day in Aizwal, and most of the untreated waste is carried to the dumping ground outside the city while the rest slides into the river. So the dumping of the plastic waste and untreated waste that is being generated by the urbanized area of the Aizwal is polluting this river. Apart from that, road building on the river banks and the mountain side construction is also harming to the river. There are other couple of reasons associated with it is the illegal encroachment of the catchment area. In this image you can see that this is river Chittellu. Just along this river bank you can see there are constructions by the people. Even there is this area is marked for the creation of the football grounds in Aizwal, and this area on the other bank side you can see that the people have developed the farming for that purpose of their own subsistence farming. So all this factor, encroachment of the catchment area, destruction of the catchment area by constructing the bridges and roads along it is also another cause for the narrowing of the catchment area. Apart from that, privatization of the community land by the government itself through various schemes and programs is also a cause for the dying of Chittellu river. And more of it, lack of environmental education among the people who are not thinking for the benefit of river but for their own monetary benefit are largely responsible for the destruction of Chittellu river. Looking at the large level destruction of the Chittellu river, the state government, fully aware of the sentiments attached to the river, passed a law which is known as the Prevention and Control of Water Pollution Act 2018, and according to this, the dumping of any kind of waste and garbages and waste into the river is a cognizable and non-bailable offence. So there is an stringent punishment for the same. The government has planted several hundreds of seedlings during the Green Mizo Day. Green Mizo Day is being celebrated every year in the June, and it is an attempt to preserve the flora and the fauna and the ecological balance of this region, which can help to rejuvenate the river Chittellu. There in the second phase, the government has planned to make some small check dams along the river, and this will help to stop the garbage from getting spilled into the river and from its distributaries. The waste from the tributaries also add up to the river and make it dirtier. So in the plan there is a provision that the tributaries would be cleaned regularly so that they are not overfilled with waste. So this is another process by which they can clean the river. These are the measures which already had been taken by the government of Aizwal itself, and they are the self-help volunteers who are collecting all these plastic waste from the river and from the bank and nearby area of river and collecting it and removing it. They are helping to clean the river Chittellu under this program. Now moving to the next, what could be the possible strategies to adopt in future so that we can fully regenerate this river? These plans can be helpful to regenerate the other dying rivers in India as well. So the strategies follows: reviving the ecology of the catchment area. This is the topmost. If you can revive the catchment area of a river, and then there will be the high rate of recharging underground water tables, and that can further help the river to get its flow back. Make detailed survey of the river and its catchment area so that you can plan a better way, a better regeneration plan for any reason. Hold awareness campaign, because awareness is the prime thing that makes us sensitive towards environment, and if you are aware, you will be very careful while polluting anything nearby your environment. Clean the river at strategic locations. Help river by building underground recharge system so that in a non-monsoon season the river can get its flow. Planned and restricted construction along the river banks. This can be further helpful in rejuvenating any river basin or the catchment area. Apart from that, there are certain other suggestions that can be included as a future goals to save any river, and in particular to save Chittellu River is set up a Safe Chittellu campaign with students, media personnel and local NGOs, and who work in collaboration to spread awareness, and even time to time a self-help group to clean the river nearby areas. Set a timetable. If you are not setting a timetable within which you will be work, then the work will be delayed and delayed. So set a timetable for cleaning the river at various locations. Third can be encourage forest-based livelihood. Now you must be thinking that how a forest-based livelihood can help in a project like cleaning and rejuvenating rivers, because forests are ultimate controller of the groundwater as well as they control the pollution levels. Apart from that, the forest-based livelihood will provide then economic support to local community or local people. This will help to have a grand success for any projects with the help of the local community. So this class is generally confusing in any examination, that encourage forest-based livelihood for the regeneration of rivers. It is true. If you are encouraging livelihood based on the nature products and the forest, then it will ultimately help the river to regenerate in local area. Next could be collect and document the stories about rivers of the state that will inculcate a cultural sense of pride about the rivers in the people and for the coming generations. Particularly try to publish book on unwritten folk stories about the state's river for children, so that the coming generation and our children could be sensitive towards our nature and in particular towards our river. Train the local media person to gain more knowledge about environment and related concerns, and let them telecast time to time on various platforms about their safe campaign for the Chittellu River. Since we are reading about Chittellu River in Mizoram, so ultimately the questions can be asked based on the indigenous people on those area, their culture, their language, because UPSC nowadays have an integrated program to check the orientation of the student. So these are some of the facts about the indigenous people in those areas. Number 1 is that Aizwal has a predominantly tribal population, and that constitute nearly 95% of the total population. Mizos are the main tribe in this area, and apart from that there are some immigrants from the neighboring state like Assam, Manipur, Tripura and even from Myanmar. All the tribal communities are into modern means of livelihood. This means that Mizo community is an advanced community in terms of education and livelihood pattern and culture and the uses of the modern resources. They do not possess any kind of primitive or the trivial mark as we thought a tribal community must be, like in the state of Jharkhand or in the MP. They are much more modern. So keep that in mind, that the Mizo tribes are the modern tribes. They have the same tradition, customs and uses. In this diagram you can see that some male and some female, they are the Mizo tribes basically, and they are organizing a bamboo dance. Here they hold the bamboo dance, they beat it on a regular interval, and then the girls place their heads alternatively one by one and they keep doing it. So this dance is known as the Cherao dance. So the question can ask in a manner that Cherao dance is associated with which tribe? So Cherao dance is a dance in Mizoram. It is performed by the Mizo tribes. The most predominant indigenous group is speaking one common language, that is called Mizo Tawang. Mizo Tawang is the major language for Mizo tribe, and Mizo Tawang locally known as Lu Sei. So the questions can be asked that Lu Sei is the language of which tribe? It is a language of Mizo tribe. And what is the religion of the Mizo tribes? Is Christianity. So they are mainly Christians. However, people living within the Aizwal city have an urban outlook and do not exhibit any primitive, mind it, any primitive or distinct characteristics that are considered to be indigenous people. Now, hope you enjoy this session, and coming back to the answer of the question that I have posed at the beginning of this. So number 1 was that consider the following about Chittellu River in Aizwal in Mizoram. A was the Prevention and Control of Water Pollution Act 2018 have prohibited dumping of animal carcasses, biomedical waste in Chittellu River to save it in Aizwal. This is true. Chittellu River originates from Bangkwang Range in Aizwal. This is also true. See, it is a tropical perennial river and fed on glaciers. It is wrong. It is not tropical perennial river. Rather, it is tropical rain-fed river. D. Talek Lui, Bang Lui, Darman Lui, Herring Lui are the tributaries of Chite Lui. This is true because all this Lui means river in Mizo language. So this is true. Second was major cause of dying of the Chittellu. Then C will be the option that the rampant urbanization and pollution by plastic waste is a major cause for dying of Chittellu River. 3. What could be the future goal to save the action of Chittellu River? Options were A. Encourage forest-based livelihood. Yes, this is correct. Publish book on unwritten folk story about river for children to create awareness. This can also have true. Make small dams on river and its tributaries. This is also true because the small dams help in collecting the garbages out of the river. Mind it, make small dams, not the big dams. All of the above are correct. So this D is the correct answer. Who are the local tribes in Aizwal? Answer you already know now, Mizo tribes. Consider the wrong statement about Mizo tribes. They reside in Mizoram state of India. That is true. They are the most primitive in nature. No, they are modern in nature. Cherao dance is performed by Mizo tribe. Yes, it is performed by them. All are correct. No, it is not the answer. Now there are some further questions left here for you. If you wish to interact with us, please comment your answer into the comment box. Now, can you comprehend about the integrated plans that can be adopted to revise or review water bodies and river in any part of India? Secondly, you can answer what can be the possible causes that the river saving programs like Namami Gange is not harnessing the desired result in India, and followed by how local wisdom can be integrated into any river revival mission. We are hoping to have your answer. Thank you. We will be taking up another current topic location in our next video. See you there. Subscribe the Ensemble Ias YouTube channel for your civil service preparation. Namaskar.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.